Welcome to CPSC 106, otherwise known as Digital Storytelling 106. The course is a 5-week course, all online. All assignments are due on Sunday at 11:59. You have assignments that are due throughout the week, but the entire summary webpage is due on Sunday. This week's lecture is broken up into two different portions. The first portion is just going to explain the syllabus and what is expected for your blog. If at any point you need help during the semester, you can either make an appointment with me, I am in Trinkle Hall, or you can actually go to the Digital Knowledge Center, which is in the Hurley Center. You can click here on this how to set up an appointment, come over here and actually make up a center appointment with one of the tutors that are available to all UMW students. The biggest thing that you really need to do in the next couple of days is to look at the syllabus. This tells you everything that is needed. You will see that the course is digital storytelling. It is labeled CPSC 106, but when you'll see a lot of references online, you'll see that it's DS 106. I'm offering it both in summer session 1 and summer session 2. If you need to email me, this is the best place to actually email me at gmail.com. My office is TrinkleB21. During summer session 1, I am teaching a class from 10:15 to 12:15. So I will be in my office before 10:15 on those days. In summer session 2, I am not teaching any classes on campus. Both of the classes I'm teaching are online. The office hours are online and by appointment. If you want to make an appointment, then just write me email at jenniferpollock@gmail.com. The course really goes about talking about how do we tell stories without physically always using words, but using words and images, words and video, words and sound. So when you write up your assignments, I do expect you to have words that back up your media, but the media is supposed to fill in the blanks. Now, I always tell students that this is not digital storytelling factual, it's digital storytelling. I don't care if it's made up. These do not have to be true stories. They can be any kind of stories that you want to portray. Creative writing, or you can do, let's say, kind of anime writing, or you can do fantasy, you can do romance. The topic can be any topic that you are passionate about. The course objective is basically for you to get to use different types of media by using photos. You don't have to have a great camera to do it. By using SoundCloud, that's by using your voice, by using sounds that you can insert on a digital track. So you're using digital audio. By using movies, once again, you don't need any special equipment to do those different things. You will see anytime you want help on those, when you want to figure out how to do something or what kind of software to do it, this DS106 handbook has helps on how do you blog. It also has tools of the trades. How do you create animated GIFs? How do you create, how do you download YouTube videos? How do you trim videos? How do you edit or create animated movie trading cards using GIMP. GIMP is the free version basically of Photoshop. So it's a different way to actually use stuff and to change different images. Anytime I give a digital assignment, it will come from the DS106 assignment repository. The repository has assignments that are categorized, but what kind of assignments you have. You have visual, design, audio, video, web assignments, mashups, writing, fanfic, animated, and 3D. We will be concentrating, since it is 5 weeks, on visual, design, audio, video, and then you will have to pick one of these down here. Now there are other assignments. Those assignments are typically you reading material or listening to material or watching material that you will have to do reflections on. Those are not from the repository. The grading scale is found here. You'll see A through F, all the different grading. Each week you will be doing a series of assignments throughout the week, but you submit one web page to me. That web page is what's called the summary, and you will be graded on 15% participation. That means your interaction with other students in the class. 15% on what's called the daily create, which I will explain. 40% on digital storytelling assignments. Those come from this DS-106 assignment repository. 15% on reflections, and 15% on the weekly summaries. Here talks about what I expect are on participation. What you'll see is if you go to DS-106, this is the front page for the course that was created at UMW that has taken off, that people all around the world actually use. If you bring down to the drop down, it says UMW Summer 2017. They spelt my name wrong, but that's okay. Everybody does. You come here. This will be called an aggregated page. Once what will happen is everybody who signs up, you will be all listed here. So all members in our class will actually show up on the right-hand side here. So there should be 15 students that are signed up for the class, and your blog should all show up here. Each week, the current assignment will be here. Right now, this is just showing a filter one. This is not the current one. And then anytime you put a blog post in, it should show up here. So this way, everybody in the class can click on it and look at what you are actually, what you're actually posting. It is your job to come here and click on the different blog posts that you see here to comment on them and participate in the interactive process of the digital storytelling. The daily create, the daily create comes out every single day. So the daily create is, you have to do it on that particular day. So if I say you have to do 3 daily creates in 1 week, that means you have to do it on the day that it comes out. You cannot wait to Sunday to do all 3 daily creates. So for example, today's daily create, which is Sunday, it's saying here, it's hashtag TDC1959. So that's today's daily create, and it's a 1-word poem. So that's what it's looking. So find a favorite quote or poem, pull 1 word out of it, create a new poem with just that 1 word. So what happens is that once people start to actually do it, when you submit it, you're going to tweet your daily create to at DS106DC, and you're going to have the hashtag TDC1959. So if I was to go onto the Twitter, I would see anybody that put that hashtag on there. So here, Sarah Honeychurch did it on rain. There's a poem by Spike Milligan I've always loved and think of often, living here in the rainy Glasgow. So she goes on to say what it is. My 1 poem illustrated. So here she did this here. You have another person, start. So you can do it any way you have it. This one did an animated GIF. This one here did it. Let's see what she did. If we go back, she actually did the poem. So here she created, and then she did an image to go with her poem. So here she created a bunch of images to go with the poem. Each of these are supposed to only take about 5 to 10 minutes per day. Here's a 1-word poem somebody made. It looks like they made some kind of word art with it. So every time you do it, you can do it in your own way. Sometimes it might say create a picture, create a small video, or just write a poem, or write a song for somebody's birthday. That's a common one. It's supposed to just get your creative juices flowing into the digital storytelling process. Every day there is a new one, and if I tell you to do 3, you have to do it on the day, and you have to post it to Twitter. That's your daily create. The digital storytelling assignments, they come from the repository, and I'm going to explain that more in the second half, the second video. One thing I will say about that is when you write up your assignments for the digital storytelling, it's if I have you do, let's say, an image, the image is not just the assignment. You have to do 3 parts. So if I say create an image that shows happiness to yourself, you have to tell the story behind the picture. So let's say if your picture was a pool. Well, why does that bring you happiness? What's the story behind that picture? So why does that pool actually make you happy? Then you would show me the work itself, meaning the picture of the pool. And then finally, the last day is narrating the process. A lot of times it's not just taking a picture, but what instead it is maybe taking a picture and changing the color. So if I took a picture of the pool, but I made the water be as blue as the Caribbean Ocean. Well, how did I actually do that? So I would create a tutorial that told how did I change the picture. So I'd show the original picture, and then I would show a step-by-step process of how I changed the pool from, let's say, just plain old, nice blue water to this Caribbean blue water. So this way somebody else could recreate it. All your blog posts for digital storytelling are using this rubric. So if you don't do all 3 parts, and you just put the media up, that's only 30%. Then you will only get 30% for that grade. Your reflections is there are times when you're going to have to watch videos, as I said, or you're going to listen to a podcast, or you're going to read an article, and you have to do a reflection on that. This does not mean to give me a summary. I already know what these things are because I'm giving them to you, so don't summarize them and give it back to me. What you are supposed to do is you are supposed to express your opinion and say how you are going to use something in that podcast in your own digital media. How are you going to, what was the main point? How is that main point going to help you create better photos? How is that main point or a single instance of what the podcast told you going to help you to create a better movie? So here what I've done is given you some questions to how to improve your reflection. It is not a summary, it is a reflection of what you saw. The last part is your summary, and this is where every week you'll be required to submit a summary post, and that's the one that's due on Sunday night. What you have, the post should include the links to all the things that you did during the week. So let's say you did 3 digital media assignments. So that summary should link to all 3 of the medias, explaining what they are, how many star values there were, and how you approach them. It should also link to any reflections you did during the week. It should also then say, well, how do you feel how you completed this assignment? Don't say, I think I did great. That doesn't tell me. Tell me what was hard, what was easy. Tell me what you maybe needed help on. Tell me what did you enjoy the most? What did you learn? Also, what would you do differently? The most I get every time I say to people, what would you do differently? People tell me all the time, start earlier. I'm telling you that right now. Everybody tells me all the time, start earlier. What questions do you have of me, of the class, of the Digital Knowledge Center? What are some of the larger issues surrounding your work? Like, is there any implications? Some people might decide to do this whole 5 weeks on politics. If you watch any of the political satires, you know that it is a field, basically one big game for all the political satires. That your digital storytelling might actually have some societal implications. Tell us about it. So these weekly summaries are what tells me what you did during the whole entire week. So if you do not do really a well-written summary, then your grade is going to be reflected into that. Other things that are not graded, there's attendance, but it's not the same typical attendance as you come into class. The attendance is that you go to the aggregated page that I showed you here. Right now, nobody is in the class, but once everybody's in the class, that you go and look at everybody's post, and you participated by making comments on other people's posts. Twitter, you are supposed to tweet out all your daily creates and all your daily assignments. If you want to contact me, as I said before, contact me at jenniferpollock at gmail.com. Please, when you write on other people's websites and blogs, you want to be respectful of all the interactions that you have, but you also want to give them positive feedback and negative feedback. How can they improve? You don't want to be abusive or threatening. Remember that this class is based on the honor code, so you still follow that. If you have anything disability service statement, please email it to me, and I will make the accommodations that are necessary. Here is the course calendar, and as the semester unfolds, it might slightly change, but we have the first week, the intro and photography. The second week is photography and design. The third week is audio. The fourth week is movie. And the fifth week is the final project. Realize that this class is actually worldwide. So when you go to, as I showed you just before with the Daily Create, there are other people doing these things. So you can always ask the DS106. So if you go to Twitter, so let me go back to my Twitter. If you go to Twitter and you look up hashtag DS106, you are going to see that there are lots of people that are actually doing digital storytelling. Alan Levine is one of the original creators of the class. These people are always commenting, providing feedback. It's just not from UMW alone, so you can get a lot of feedback from everyone. You can actually see there is a UMW DS106 summer class taught by You Can Image This. That's me. So you'll see. You see that a lot of people are always on. Talkie Tina, she's on a lot. Christina Hendricks. So there are people that will give you feedback that are not actually in our class, but are in the bigger DS106 public, and they help out a lot. And you could always put a question out to hashtag DS106, and these people would actually give you feedback on a daily basis. As I told you, that sometimes this summer that when you do some of your DS106, politics might come into play, and as you can see, somebody did do something with politics right here. So you can see that DS106 is a very large community. It's a very helpful community, and your mind should expand after taking this class. Good luck, and I will see you on Twitter and the web really soon.